And now, First Warn 5 weather with meteorologist Samara Kokinos.
Good Wednesday morning to you. We're halfway through the work week and we're starting the day with more fog in the forecast, but not everywhere. So let's show you where the thickest stuff is, mainly from Weslaco going east. That's where all the thick stuff is. But if you're in Edinburg, McAllen, or Rio Grande City, visibility is right around 4 to 10 miles out there. So really not too much to deal with unless you're headed east. You'll notice once you get into Weslaco, down to a half mile, quarter mile from Raymondville all the way south into Brownsville this morning, you could run into some areas that aren't as thick, but then it'll thicken back up very quickly, especially if you're headed to the coast where that sea fog has developed and it is very, very thick out there, hardly any visibility at all. So we do have a fog advisory to tell you about for Willacy and Cameron County. Through 9 o'clock this morning, you can expect those lower visibilities, especially along the coast, to last a little bit longer. But for this morning, just be careful if you're out there having to commute through all of this. Remember to use your low beams and to give yourself enough drive time to get to your destination safely. Temperature-wise, very warm and muggy out there. 70 degrees in Weslaco, 72 in Brownsville, 73 right now in McAllen, and good morning to you in Harlingen. You're currently at 71 degrees. Dew point values at 70. We have those light winds, so yeah, all that moisture and light winds allow for that fog to really settle in. Looking at your high temperature for today, 83 degrees, well above our average for this time of year. Kind of getting close to the record of 85 here in Weslaco that was set in 1946, but I don't think we're going to have record-breaking heat, but it will be warm, 14 degrees above average. The setup across the Lone Star State shows a warm front well to our north. We're going to continue to draw in all that lower level moisture, so it's going to be another warm and humid afternoon. Now, we do have changes coming. We have a cold front. It wasn't on the map just yet, but let me show you when it will arrive. We're going to walk you hour by hour with a high-resolution future track model. We'll start the clock at 6 this morning. That fog will last throughout mid-morning, and then after that we'll see that gradual clearing with the exception of the coast. Still going to be very foggy there. Looking at the second half of the day, we'll have partly sunny skies, maybe an isolated sprinkle or two. Rain chances are around 10%. Overnight tonight, the clouds will thicken back up. We'll also have fog again through early morning tomorrow, so get ready to adjust your drive time again tomorrow morning. You'll need to, because some of that fog will be maybe a little bit more widespread and it could be thick out there. Here we go, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. The cold front's getting closer. It's knocking on our door at noon. Notice it brings a lot of green with it, so we're expecting a 40% chance for showers to occur, mainly just light rain as this front moves through. Behind the front, it's going to be very breezy and it will cool down very, very quickly. And then this front will take a change of pace. It's going to move back to the north as a warm front. But before that, let me show you these winds. Behind the front, here we go, 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. So it's not quite here yet, but here it comes. That blue and that yellow indicate anywhere between 12 and 25 mile-per-hour winds. Along the coast, you'll notice a tinge of orange. So we're expecting gustier winds up near possibly 30 and 35 miles per hour. The National Weather Service Brownsville office has already issued a gale watch tomorrow from noon until midnight. And because of the gusty winds, it'll make it very hazardous out there on seas building up to 8 to 11 feet. For you boaters this morning, all you have to really contend with is that dense fog, and it will be around for much of the day today. So just be very, very careful while you're out there navigating on the waters. We'll have a high tide at 6:13 later on this evening. Very light winds. Seas will stay average at about 2 to 3 feet. So for today, 83 degrees is what we're calling for. A 10% chance for shower, but I think the majority of the valley is going to remain dry. You could drive through a little bit of mist this morning in addition to that fog. Remember that advisory is in effect till 9 o'clock this morning for Willacy and Cameron. Later on tonight, cloudy, and then again that patchy fog. It could thicken up and become more widespread. 70 degrees will be your overnight low. So get ready to adjust your drive time tomorrow morning because of that fog. And then it's going to stay rather cloudy tomorrow. Warm ahead of the front, 76, and falling to the low 50s that night. Will be very breezy, so keep that in mind, and we will have that rain to contend with. A few morning showers by Friday. We'll start to taper off by the afternoon. It looks rather cloudy, near 63 degrees for your daytime high. The warm front brings us back to the upper 70s and mid 80s for Saturday and Sunday. Not too shabby to ring in 2017. It looks like the first couple of days of 2017 will actually be above average by 13 or 14 degrees. More sunshine by the early part of next week. That's your updated First Warn 5 4.